Hi there and welcome to my kitchen. For all my friends out there who love cauliflower, today I have for you a simple recipe that's loaded with health benefits as well as volumes of flavor. Featuring anti-inflammatory turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and superfood ghee, these turmeric cauliflower steaks are the perfect way to cook cauliflower. And if you don't cook cauliflower right, it can be very difficult to digest. And this is because cauliflower is light, dry, and a little cold. And so some people actually get gas and bloating. You might have noticed that. And that's because digestion requires heat and fuel to work. And that's exactly what the turmeric, ghee, and black pepper provide in this recipe. The spices provide your digestion with what it needs to get the job done. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how to make turmeric cauliflower steaks. And at the end, I'll also share with you serving ideas to turn this dish into a complete meal. The first step is to prepare the cauliflower. So we're going to remove this core, and while doing so, keep the cauliflower intact as much as possible. So I'm just using a medium-sized knife, a smaller size knife, to cut at an angle into the core. And then you can pull it out, like so, and remove these outer leaves. Okay, and if there's any brown spots on the outside, just use a small knife to just cut those off. So clean up the cauliflower at this stage until it's looking nice and beautiful. And then we're going to go over to the sink and wash it off with water. These are going to go into compost. Okay, now that this is washed, we're going to use a large knife to slice the cauliflower into 1/2-inch pieces. You see that? It's creating a little tree shape. And that's okay, this is going to come apart, but that's okay. As we get closer to the center, the pieces are going to stay together a little bit more. Okay, see that? See how that piece stays together? Beautiful. So we're looking for about 4 cups. So depending on how large your cauliflower is, maybe that's actually a good amount, and this amount I'm going to set aside for another recipe. So I've got some nice pieces here. Let's lay them out and see what we have. Okay, some pieces are smaller. Some pieces are just the core, so I'm actually going to remove this core. So just cleaning it up a little bit here. Remove anything that you don't want to eat. Some of the bigger cores. So this is actually going to get broken down a bit. Or you can leave the core on and remove it later. Okay. So there we go. And so you can see that there's some smaller pieces. You can set those aside. Here we go. Big pieces, small pieces. Big pieces, small pieces. And this is about 4 cups. So I'm just judging the quantity here for 4 cups. All right, so now we're ready to start cooking. And we want to get out a nice non-stick skillet. I love this one here from Green Pan. Because it has a white interior, and that's gonna look really beautiful when the turmeric and the cauliflower are cooking. I always look for my cookware so that I can appreciate it while using. We're gonna start off on medium heat. Then we're going to get out our ghee, and this is my homemade ghee, and we're gonna take 2 tablespoons, or maybe a little less to start. We can always add more later. Isn't that glorious? All right, once that ghee is good and melted, it's time to add the ½ teaspoon of turmeric. And you want to add the turmeric into the ghee where the ghee is. So this is a large skillet, so I'm kind of adding it where the ghee is. And I'm also going to add a pinch of red chili, just a pinch. You don't have to make this too spicy. Then I'm going to give this a stir and appreciate the beauty. I call this rays of sunshine. Gorgeous. Little bit of sizzling. That's what you want. And next we're going to add in the cauliflower. Along with some salt. And I want to give this a little bit of a toss. So this is distributing the spices and the salt. And that's important because the salt is going to help the turmeric to cook in its own juices. I'm giving these larger pieces here a bit of a head start with the cooking. And then I'm going to add in the smaller pieces that we had as well. Make sure that you're using a medium heat. You don't want this to burn and get too dark before the cauliflower actually has a chance to cook. So now I'm going to add in the smaller bits. I want to show you that this can be done. Okay, let's give it another little toss and see where we're at. This is looking good. Can you see that there's already some caramelization that's happening here? You want to spread it out on into an even layer. So after the cauliflower has been cooking for about 5 to 8 minutes, you want to turn it. And you'll also notice the browning that is occurring on the first side. So once you see nice amount of browning, that's when you want to turn it. Let's see this bad boy. Gorgeous. He's the star of the show. Right there in the center. And after you turn it, you could even add in some extra ghee if you like. Look, let's melt some in there. Some in there. Maybe around the edges. Just go around the edges here. Let it drizzle in along the edges. Nice. Maybe a tiny bit of extra salt on that second side for good measure. Give it a little shake. Salt is actually very soothing to the nervous system, and that can be really supportive depending on your body type or your needs. And so the recipe calls for a ½ teaspoon of salt, which is a pretty good amount, but you can just adjust this to your taste and to your needs. Another thing you can do if you feel like the cauliflower is not cooking or not cooking enough is just add a little bit of water. Just a tiny bit of water. Give it a little shake. Also put a lid on it. So you do want your cauliflower to get soft. It's been about 5 minutes with the lid on after I added that bit of water. Let's check. Nice, right? So I can actually easily put the fork through and pick up the cauliflower, and that's how I know that it's soft, right? Nice and soft. Pick it up with the fork. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's gorgeous. Looking good. Looking good. So you don't have to turn them all. Just enjoy this process of turning and notice how it's cooking. If it's darker on one side, then leave it on the side that's not as dark. Now, since we added the water, some steaming took place, which is what made it softer. At this point, you can actually turn it up once it's soft. Turn up the heat. Look, I was on a fairly low heat. Now I'm going to turn it up. And by turning up the heat, you're actually going to facilitate more of the browning color. It's actually sizzling a little more now. Ready for the big reveal? Here we go. Nice and soft. Beautifully caramelized. Wow, these are amazing. We did it! So I think I should give this a taste and let you know how it tastes. And after that, I'm going to show you some serving ideas, how you can turn this into a meal. All right, I'm just going to take a bite. Here it is. The crispiness on the edge with that brown taste, with the caramelized taste. So nice. It's soft, but it's still a little bit chewy. The salt is there, you know, at a decent level, but not too much. And then the turmeric and the red pepper that I put in, and you can substitute this with black pepper, is giving this like a glorious round flavor. I love this. I absolutely love this. So now I'm going to show you how you can turn this into a meal. So the reason I call this cauliflower slab or cauliflower steak is so that you can confidently arrange the cauliflower in the center of your plate. So let's do that. Piling up the cauliflower here as much as you'd like. So for a quick meal, I suggest trying it with braised greens and poached eggs. So I have some braised greens here. This is mustard greens, cabbage, zucchini, and even a little bit of cherry tomato. And I've cooked that even with a little bit of turmeric. So then I've got my poached eggs here in this tiny pot. And I'm gonna put them here. And here. This is actually a seaweed and herb salt, which is lovely with eggs. Isn't that gorgeous? Now that looks like a healthy meal. So I've actually got this super cool spicy black beans. I got this at Whole Foods. And if I didn't have a spicy whole black beans, I would actually add my own spices. But I'm just gonna use this because it says mild, which I like, mild spices. And it's got jalapeno, a little bit of tomato paste, green chili, onion, garlic, cumin, lots of cool stuff. I've never tried this actually, so I'm excited to give it a try. And I think I'm gonna use the juice and everything because it's got all that flavor in there. And this is gonna be a wonderful complement together with these cauliflower slabs. Another amazing option here with the cauliflower in the center of the plate and the braised greens is those black beans that I showed you earlier. So I have those here, and I also have some rice that I prepared. Now, you could also prepare quinoa or another type of grain, or just keep it grain-free and just use the beans. But I do like having some rice. So this is basmati, it's beautiful with the long grain. And then I'm going to spoon the black beans over top. And I just heated these black beans up with a little bit of extra water because I do like that juiciness. It's really supportive for digestion. And these had some spices in them. It was a spicy black bean, but if you don't have spices in your black bean, just add them yourself. Add some turmeric, add some coriander powder, add some cumin, and heat up your can of beans. And so that is a very complete and wonderful meal featuring those gorgeous cauliflower steaks in the center of the plate. There it is, cauliflower steaks in the center of the plate. Isn't that amazing? I hope that you loved this video today, learning how to make those cauliflower steaks and how to turn it into a complete, healthy vegetarian meal using different options. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please do subscribe right now. That's really gonna encourage me to make more of these. And I love to teach, but I need to know that you love what I'm doing as well. So please subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know how you like this video. That's all for today. Bye for now.